I've said many times over, one of the greatest things about my job as a fishing show host is being able to go fish with a variety of people, whether it's industry experts, lure designers, manufacturers, merchants from Cabela's, whatever it may be, as well as touring pros. Each one of those folks I get a chance to go fish with have unique stories, abilities, and things that I can always learn from. And today's guest, Mark Daniels Jr., a gentleman who has found an interesting route to chase a dream of a lifetime.
You know, I was born and raised in California, Northern California. As a kid, my dad would take me out pretty much every weekend, and we'd fish for, back then, anything that bit. You know, we'd go to the tackle store and buy some pow worms and some grass shrimp, and you know, we sit on the on the dock of the bay, kind of like the song goes, you know, or the piers. You know, it's just really been a dream of mine to fish full time ever since then. As I got a little older, I started fishing the Bass Federation at the age of 14. Fished my first tournament out of the front of the boat at 16 years old on Lake Sonoma in Northern California, and man, it's just been pumping through my veins ever since. Long story short, you know, fast forward to 2013, I was fortunate enough to win the TBF National Championship.
This limit today worth 19 pounds, 4 ounces, your champion, Mark Daniels Jr.
And really, that was a life-changing experience for me. I had an opportunity to come out, compete with the guys on the FLW tour. They paid for my travel expenses, they paid my entry fees, they gave me a boat, they gave me a truck. It was one of those deals is pretty much all I had to do was show up and fish. But for me, you know, it wasn't quite that easy because I had a career at home as an ag biologist for 6 years, and I had to make a decision. Ultimately, it wasn't that tough of a decision because I knew what I wanted to do in my heart, you know, and so I quit my job. I came out on the FLW tour in 2014, and that kind of begun my professional career.
I happened to be over in East Texas, you know, kind of making my way to Kentucky, and he was over on Toledo Bend practicing for an upcoming tournament. So once we kind of found out we're in the same area and we had a free, you know, basically half a day, 3/4 a day, we said, hey, let's just meet. So we chose to go to Castle Boykins Park on the upper ends of Sam Rayburn. When we got there, the weather forecast was just kind of dark, dismal, windy, nasty. The forecast was not good. It's one of those days we're gonna have to put the Cabela's guide wear on and just find a protected area to go fish. Well, years ago, I had really become familiar with the deer stand area of Rayburn. It's an area that I not only fished a lot of tournaments in, I just like to fish. And I also knew we could get in there and it would be protected. And I felt like with the warming trend, there should be a billion bass in there. We just had to figure them out. Little bitty guy, he had been there the whole time.
Nice, nice. On the board, Wade.
Yeah, not a giant, but like I said, every bite counts in my book. Future Rayburn 9-pounder.
Anytime you're fishing these lakes, even if you're familiar with them, you know, it's always amazing how immediately you want to fish history. You know, I've caught them in this area before, doing this, doing that, but it's always amazing how more times than not, you're going to end up catching them on something new, trying something new, and learning as you go. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about bass fishing is because it's really never the same. Sure, we have baits and techniques that we have had success with. Every time you hit the water, it's a new experience, it's a new challenge, it's another victory. And you learn something. You never stop learning.
Fish on. Chatterbaiter.
Hey, little sucker. Yeah, he crushed that thing too.
I like it when they crush it because those are the ones that hook themselves.
They hook themselves real good.
I like that when they do that.
He got himself some. Little buck bass, a little red in his eyes. Where's your girlfriend at, buddy?
He said she left yesterday. I don't know. She went on a boat ride. Some guy stopped in here at a tournament and took her on a ride. I'm waiting for her to get back. You know, if you follow Mark on social media and you look at his posts, he's always grinning, he's always having fun. And when you talk to him, the guy will talk fishing with anybody. I mean, he'd probably walk up to the lady at a burger shop that's never fished in her life and ask her, you know, what color, you know, soft plastic do you need to be throwing in this lake? I mean, he's just that kind of guy, that excitable about fishing. So, you know, as we kind of ease down along a lot of the banks here and we're catching a few here, and you know, I'm kind of dabbing a soft plastic jerk bait and he's kind of mixing it up with a popping frog, and I mean, we're just trying to get bit.
There you go, Wade. There we go.
On him a little bit. Boy, I had to let that sit a long time. And they let it sit in front of one of those big females. It's that magical time when they're all moving up, 60+ degrees.
Oh, pretty fish over here.
Coming up, Mark and Wade continue their search for pre-spawn fish on Sam Rayburn Reservoir.
It's in our stomping grounds and our playground. It's in our sights and our commitment. It's in him, it was in them, and it will continue with her. It's in my nature. Is it in yours?
Oh, nice shot.
You put the cool in life. We put the cool in coolers. Arctic ice.
Engineered to excel, the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series are built for the ultimate ownership experience. It's a commitment to excellence packed with real-world advantages and exclusive features. Experience the accelerated performance standards of the legendary Ranger Z series. From first light to last cast, they're put together to set you apart. Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here.
At Yamaha, reliability is a family tradition. Meet the next generation. 4 new advanced technology-inspired inline 4-cylinder performers. Bred from the reliability and boater satisfaction that is part of Yamaha's DNA. They prove that when power gets lighter, faster, stronger, and smarter, boating gets even better. And more satisfying for boaters like you.
Let's get down to business. Quiet, you sons of fishes. Now, what?
I'm switching sonar.
Why?
Cause now I can see fish swimming live in front of my boat. I even see fish attack my lure. Y'all sonar's just history. I'm out.
I'm with him.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Cabela's. It's in your nature. Yamaha Marine. Reliability starts here. Ranger Boats. Still building legends, one at a time.
You know, one thing about it, the weatherman hit this forecast pretty good. The wind's howling. It's intermittently rain. I keep wanting to take my jacket off and just fish in my jersey. And here it comes rain again. Mark's kind of settled in. He's not taking the guide wear off anymore. And it's just one of those dark, drizzly days. But the cool thing about it is we're catching a few little buck bass.
Jeez, wasn't paying
There has to
attention.
be one in here somewhere. We need to go find those bigger ones.
No doubt.
We're blind
Boy,
casting to the babies.
That ain't your first rodeo, little fella.
You know, up in the deer stand, the one thing about it is that I can remember from years of fishing it, there's always going to be some fish moving up shallow that time of the year. We're kind of in that early spring, water temperatures just creeping into the 60. I keep thinking we're going to hook a few big ones. We've caught quite a few fish now on a trick stick and some other soft plastics, and the wind's blowing down a bank we've already fished, and I keep thinking to myself, I need to go down that bank because I've had great experience on that bank in the past. And Mark picks up, you know, a swim jig basically, and he starts throwing it out there and getting some bites. Got him?
No,
Good one?
not that good. He just mad.
They're all mad. Like it. Something on a moving bait. We just hadn't seen a lot of that today.
There's your pre-spawn
There she is.
fat girl, right there.
I mean, that
Nice
just makes
fish.
all the sense in the world.
Pre-spawn, healthy. Out here getting that last snack before she go drop those eggs. Thank you, sweetheart.
I noticed when we came through here earlier, I was looking at the mapping, and I could see like just all the different colors where we had a little edge coming up here. That's why I wanted to come back through here. You caught that fish right where all those colors come together on the depth shading.
That's awesome, right there on that break.
Top of it, yeah.
Started to put a little piece of the puzzle together, let the wind kind of be our friend technique, and started picking up some moving baits, some vibrating jigs, and we caught a few nice fish. Wade lost a really nice one. But you know, that's part of it, but you know, just that one indication, noticing the wind, noticing the water temp, which stage the fish should be in, just that one little piece of the puzzle led us into catching several bass. So paying attention can be really key. He is. He ate that thing deep.
Dude, I was hung and popped, and right when that sucker popped out of there, he said, "Dinner time!" That looks like filet mignon, guys. Let me in.
I'm gonna have me a piece of that.
You know, one thing about it, when you spend time in a boat with people that are energetic and excited about going fishing, that passion, that fire, it's addictive. And you know, Mark and I are fortunate now that we've got several companies we kind of work with together, and I'm excited about spending more time in the boat with Mark. I'm excited to watch his career arc. I think it's just going to continue to go up. I mean, you look at this guy, qualified through the federations to fish the FLW Tour. While he was on the FLW Tour, having some great success, he was also competing on the Bassmaster Southern Opens. Was fortunate enough there to catch some pretty good limits and make it to the Bassmaster League. This is a guy that's catching a lot of fish. His tournament results are showing true progression. I think we'll see some great things ahead for Mark Daniels Jr.
And when we come back, Wade returns for another trip on Sam Rayburn, this time competing against an old friend.
Engel's got the original high-performance cooler and a whole lot more. Engel coolers, go with the original.
Hobie's Mirage Drive kayaks set the standard for fun on the water. Whether your passion is fishing, sailing, or recreational adventure, Hobie's got a kayak for you. Hobie's Mirage Drive mimics nature's proven designs for efficient and powerful propulsion and enhances your kayaking experience. Mirage Power, Mirage Performance, Mirage Drive. Hobie, enjoy the ride.
What I love about the Bradley Smoker is that it cooks everything perfectly and it holds all the juices in.
So today we are going to be smoking some barbecue ribs, some venison sausage, and some dove, which is awesome.
You will never grill me doves again. I have to have them in the Bradley Smoker. I would prefer to use the Bradley Smoker every time I cooked. Well, that's really true because I love this thing. No lie. For more recipes, log on to bradleysmoker.com.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Garmin, the power of simple. Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line. Power Pole Shallow Water Anchors, swift, silent, secure. Spro, Sports Professionals.
So here's the deal. You know, we're out here really to shoot a TV show, and Wade and I, as competitive as we are, we decided to have a little competition today doing this show. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna each take control of the boat every 30 minutes. While one has control of the boat, the other one's running the camera. And then you have to swap.
In typical fashion, you know, we decided we had to have kind of a world championship, a la Jeff Creek. You know, he's the one that kind of started all those traditions of 30 minutes in this pocket or on that marina. You know, a loser has to buy dinner kind of deal. We do the most fish, the biggest fish, and our heaviest 5 if we were, you know, fortunate enough to catch the limit. And we would fish kind of an 8-hour day and just take off and just see what the day unfolded.
See, Wade knows he's got me, because in this little deal, it's probably going to be better to fish and not try to sight fish, but he knows that I can't help but to sight fish, and I think I done seen one on the bed. Fish number 1. He's not a big one. He's about a 12-incher, but hey, we said one of the deals was the most fish, so had to go ahead and catch one. Thank you, Mr. Fish.
The theory is here, and Jeff's going to say all the time that I'm going to take and figure out a way to have the best advantage in this derby, but that's not necessarily true. He's got to have an excuse. You know, he's got to figure out a way to cheat in the deal, because it doesn't matter if we're pitching washers, throwing sandbags, whatever. He's going to look for an angle. Everybody looks for an angle when we're out there in this kind of deal.
That's crazy. I knew that fish was down there every time I would get that pollen out of the way where I could see it down there. So what I started doing is turning my trolling motor towards it and turning the trolling motor on and trying to blow that pollen out of the way where I could see down in the bed. And that little buck was staying there, so I was pretty sure it was gonna be easy to catch if I could just see it and know where to put my bait. That's number 2. Your turn.
My whole strategy is just to try to get bites. I mean, I'm gonna fish. I'm not gonna spend my time looking for them. A couple of reasons why. If I find one on a bed and I can't get any fire fast enough, he's gonna come in behind me and catch that fish. And so I'm basically working in his favor. And I feel like I've got a better chance to keep a bait wet and probably be able to be competitive with him in this format. 30 minutes isn't a lot of time. And I mean, literally first cast, just threw the trick stick out there and caught a little buck. I feel like there's a million bucks swimming into these pockets right now. And I need probably to catch a few just to keep in the game. And yeah, that might be a keeper. I don't think so. He's a little too short to be a keeper, isn't he? I might have to measure him. That might be our first keeper of the battle. Oh yeah. Keeper number 1. That's number 1. So we tied up the overall right there and caught us no keeper on frost. That's fun right there. We'll see what Jeff can do now.
As bad as we want to beat each other, we were still out here to have fun and both of us catch fish. Wade was actually going into pockets where I could see, and that way I knew where some fish were on the beds where when it come my time, I could just go straight to them fish and start fishing. What I want to do whenever I am looking at that fish, I want to get close enough that I can see it, but far enough away I'm not spooking it. And by that I mean get as far as you can and still be able to see the bed and the fish. The reason for that is you want to see that fish moving around, to know whether it swims off away from the bed or whether it's staying around there close. That way I know how to work my bait. If I start shaking my bait a lot and that fish just swims off, I know to quit doing that. I'm going to leave my bait in there and let it set for a while till that fish comes in there and kind of settles into the bed, and then I can start working that fish. I think that's a keeper too. Oh yeah, look at that, nearly 16 inches.
You know, when you're fishing and you get a chance to actually sit back and watch somebody else that you have respect for on their fishing talents, you can learn so much. How they position the boat, how they target certain things and certain angles and certain areas that they're fishing. And by watching that, it just makes you a better fisherman. And you know, Jeff's a multi-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier. He's got great skills, still fishes a lot of tournaments. And so it's very unique for me when I get to spend as much time as I do to fish with Jeff and kind of watch how he targets a lot of the same places that I have targeted on this trip or in other ones.
All right, your turn.
When you're fishing this time of the year, you're just imagining all these highways that the fish are using to get somewhere to spawn. And You're looking for those little depressions, ditches, drains, whatever you want to call them. Those are the highways that the fish use to get to work, go to the grocery store, and go home to make babies. Oh boy, he choked it too. Hey, that's 2 bites on that swim bait on this whole windy flat. I'm feeling pretty good right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Stay tuned to see who will prevail as the winner of this friendly battle.
When I talk about Sunline, I think of one word: confidence.
Sunline FX2 is what I use for all of my frogging and flipping.
S61 braid, which braid plays a big part in fishing line.
Shooter, I'm going to use in those close quarter deals like flipping and pitching.
One of my favorite techniques in fishing the tournament trail is to fish offshore ledges.
We have taken the questions out of the equation.
Take my word for it. It works. It works, dude.
Heavy duty, rugged, and designed for the big game hunter and angler. The Food Saver Game Saver Titanium Vacuum Sealer has the power and performance to seal in the freshness of your game and fish for up to 3 years, 5 times longer than standard storage methods. And with its extra wide dual and repetitive sealing capabilities, that's a ton of big game savings. Tough tested and rated 4.8 out of 5 stars by outdoorsmen just like you. The Food Saver Titanium System, it's a true game changer.
There's 2 things between an angler and the fish: the sun and the bugs. Sawyer's line of sunscreens and bug sprays keep you focused on the fish. Sawyer's Stay Put sunscreen formula bonds with your skin for a more comfortable and better level protection. And picaridin insect repellent will only harm the bugs, never your fishing gear. Also, Sawyer permethrin repels and kills on contact over 55 species of insects. You're already outdoors. Sawyer keeps you there.
Hey everyone, GoPro Dean Rojas here, and all of last year I really enjoyed wearing my FG21, which I have on right now. Well, coming up, we have a brand new color. As you can see, we have a new silver color.
I want to tell you about the FG21 jacket. The coolest thing about this jacket is the Vortex hood.
All day long, it does not matter how much it rains, you're going to stay dry and you're going to stay warm, and in turn help you catch more fish.
From the makers of Bubba Blade comes the Bubba Blade Fishing Pliers. No matter where you're headed to fish, this tool will become an integral part of your tackle box for many years to come. They feature our patented no-slip grip handles, just like our Bubba Blade knives, ensuring that this tool will stay firmly anchored in your hand. In addition to the handles, these pliers feature a super tough cobalt cutter and convenient split shot and leader sleeve crimping cutouts. The ultimate in control, strength, and durability. Bubba Blade.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Sunline America, the strength to guarantee your confidence. Engel Coolers, a legend in reliability. Bubba Blade, the ultimate sportsman's knife and carving machine.
Today, me and Wade decided, well, we're gonna have a world championship of fishing. We're only gonna fish for 30 minutes at a time, and then we're gonna swap. We had a bet on the biggest fish, we had a bet on the most fish, and then the most weight of your best 5.
Get it, baby. That's 5. Spro frog in the spring. That's fun. Wanna kiss it? Wanna kiss it, Jeff? I'll kiss it for you. That's so fun to do when you can throw that thing down there. you just think it's gonna be a 9-pounder every time, and sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just a bass. But I tell you what, never gets old when you get one like that to blow up on a frog. And like we've talked about, we're using it almost as a locator bait right now. Now, fall, summer, and places like that, they're eating it. They're trying to eat it. Right now, they're just trying to get it away from them, a lot of these fish, get it away from their bed, and then we're following back up with a trick stick.
he is. Stay on there, buddy. He looked bigger than that when he blew up. That's a good thing about throwing a frog, is when you miss them, you can always tell your buddies I had a giant blow up on a frog, because I thought that was a 3-pounder.
Now, I've actually got a couple of them in the boat on it today, and Jeff's had several of them blow up. He's flipped back in there and caught. So, I mean, it's just a great bait to have in the arsenal when that water temperature gets the way it is right now.
When you're frog fishing, you gotta have the right equipment. Cabela's has got a frog rod, the Cabela's XML rod, and this is it right here. I mean, it's a 7'4" heavy action rod. And the thing about this rod is it's light enough that you can fish it all day, because you're constantly twitching this rod the whole time. But the biggest key is it's got a soft enough tip that you can work the bait, because if you got a real stiff rod, it's hard to work that bait and get it walking. And that's what I want my frog doing, is walking side to side, just like that right there.
You know, when it comes to the components of the Cabela's XML series frog rod, when you start looking at the reel seat, it's built in a manner that it's not going to fall apart. You know, so many rods that people buy today, you know, parts of it are falling off, the reel seat it breaks loose and your reel's moving around. That's just basically a cheap rod. You want a rod that's got great components, that's going to hold up to the pressures and the endeavors that you're going to put it through. He choked the old frog.
I'll have to say, at the end of the day, he got the best of me. He caught the most fish. I think he had 5 or 6 keepers and I had 3 or 4. I'm not for sure what the total ended up, but he beat me by 1 or 2 keepers.
You know, I'd rather be lucky than good. And you know, when you catch a couple, you know, you look at it, he had like 7 or 8 blow-ups on that frog, and I only had a couple blow-ups, and mine swallowed it, and they all missed his. And so, you know, sometimes in those, you know, friendly wagers that you're having in the World Championship, it's better to be lucky than good.
You feel like you got enough time to make about 10 casts.
God, I thought that fish may be the fastest fish alive.
Dude, it was.
That's the Usain Bolt of fish.